This is a Glass Box Media podcast.
Look, I went to a fitting today where all of the clothes were like 1930s clothes. You have never felt fat until you have tried to squeeze into an authentic vintage dress. Have you guys tried to wear dresses from the 1930s? Oh, yeah. That shit was
tiny.
Not made for anyone with like hips or shoulders.
Nope.
Or like arm fat at all.
Nothing.
Like, and this is a very relatable kind of like thing that I feel like all women can relate to, is that moment when you are trying to take off a dress in the dressing room and you are stuck.
Panic attack.
Oh
my God. I'm sweating thinking about it.
So tight because it didn't have a zipper that went down the back. None of these dresses had zippers. They only clasped on the side. So like it was like a neck hole. And then like you had to like squeeze your way out of it. And it was so tight on my arms. I was literally like, I'm going to have to ask these people to like Costco, like
could you come in and shut
Crisco
the door?
up my arms to like shimmy my way out of this dress. I'm like, what if I die here? I can't breathe. I'm in like a dark tunnel in this dress, and every woman has been in that situation.
You're sweating so hard because you want to die.
Yes.
Oh my
You're
God!
like, oh my God, please just don't make me have to call this person in here to pull this dress off of my body.
Come in and shut the door, please.
And that was one of the dresses that they chose for me to wear during the shoot, and I'm like, this is gonna be real fun.
You're like, well, I guess I'm not eating for a week. Oh man,
dear.
When does it shoot?
The 18th to the 20th. So I'm like, I got a good week and a half. I can maybe like work something out.
Are you so excited?
I am excited. I'm happy because like I was low key stressed and like panicking.
Yeah. By the way, nobody knows what we're talking about. So you got fitted for a dress for a show that you're going to be in as an extra.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can say what exactly that is.
I'm not sure either. I didn't sign anything that said that I couldn't. But yeah, I mean, because I quit my job last week. I left my job voluntarily because I was just like, I really want to focus on my creative pursuits. This office job is like sucking the life out of my body. I can't do it anymore. So I quit my job to pursue, all of my creative things that I've got going on. And day one, very scary. I was like, oh God,
what have I done?
What have I done? And it's still pretty scary, but I will say like I've been keeping myself really busy with all the podcast stuff and, did get cast in this thing. So I'm going to work 3 days at least. So I'm like, it's good, I think.
Yeah.
For now, it's good.
Yeah. No, it's going to work out. You had a good plan. So, and it already like has paid off. So
yeah. Thanks.
Totally. What else we got to talk about?
Oh, I actually
White Claw shortage.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Speaking of,
so
as we take
are
a big
we single-handedly responsible for the White Claw shortage? Is my question.
I mean,
we drink a lot of it. Yes. I mean, and this has actually just prompted me to go to the store and buy some cases. I'm going to put it in my big one preparation kit for whenever the big one hits Los Angeles.
You're like, I've got water and White Claw.
Yeah, I've got like 10 gallons of water and 5 cases of White Claw.
There you go. We're all set.
We're good. And like lots of cans of Chef Boyardee.
I love that they said in Ohio's what, like the number one.
That seems odd to me because White Claw to me is such a like sitting in the sun, like at the pool or at the beach kind of beverage. So
why? I wonder why Ohio has gravitated towards it.
A bunch of alcoholics that live there, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah. A lot of us on keto from there.
Oh, I think that's got to be a big thing.
A huge.
Because keto was so big this past year.
That's why I started drinking White Claws is because like
easy.
You can only have like 5 drinks.
Tito's.
Like alcoholic drinks.
Right.
Oh, Christina and I have decided to do a thing.
Okay.
We're going to do Sober October.
Good for you.
which
It's going to be hard.
it's going to be super. Anthony was like, what are you going to do on the weekends?
I was like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm still probably going to go out. Just I'll have water or something.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to try it. I got irrationally angry when I read your text today about it, probably because it was early and I already wanted a drink.
about
not angry, but I almost got anxiety actually
this
from
was
it because
your
I was like,
idea,
it was my
Christina.
idea, but then you were like, yeah, let's do it, and I was like, but then what do I? Then what am I going to do?
Where do I turn for comfort? Well, you don't have to do it. No pressure.
No, that's the reason why I have to do it. Was that reaction? Was I was like, oh well, now I fucking have to do it.
No, and I feel the same way
because now you're like, that addiction is too hard.
Yeah,
it's
I was
true.
like,
It's
if that's going to give me anxiety, thinking about not doing it, that's got to not be okay.
For me, I think it's just become too much of a habit. I don't feel like I have a problem, but I definitely have a habit of just okay, I have a routine. It's when I was working in the office, it's you go to work, you come home, you immediately pour a glass of wine.
Yeah.
You know.
I just feel like October is the oddest month to do it. It's my favorite holiday is Halloween. Besides 4th of July.
We're giving ourselves Halloween off.
Yeah.
Right on.
We'll do Halloween,
I
but
feel
it also rhymes,
and there's always an
can't fight a
excuse
rhyme.
not to do it because it's
cool.
The next month is
Thanksgiving. The one
and the next
after
month
that
is Christmas and
then
New Year's, and Anthony's birthday's also
and
in
my
January.
birthday.
Yeah, it's and then my birthday's in March, and it's
April.
So there's always a reason.
What's that
not
real
to.
short month?
February.
Oh, Valentine's Day. I gotta get
I don't have to
wasted.
drink on Valentine's Day. I'm all, what's that short month?
Yeah. So I'm gonna try it. There's a couple other things. I got into just a really headspace because I had the craziest week at work and just trying to keep on top of everything. Somebody sent a meme, and maybe it was on our Facebook page or somewhere else that I saw about what you get to do 2 things from this list, and it was keep your house clean, enjoy your weekend, work 40 hours a week, creative hobbies, all this whole long list. And it was why is that? And it's because it's really built for our lifestyle is a 2-income, 2-person job. Trying to do everything. I just got to a breaking point because I literally wake up every day you're a fucking failure.
But you absolutely shouldn't feel that way because this was set up for 2 people to be holding that down. It's not it's not set up. This is a relic from a past time when we had women at home who were doing all of the house shit and men who were going to work and doing all of the work shit. And that's just not how any of us really operate.
That's not how this works.
No. So you shouldn't feel bad that we're not able to maintain that. And also a lot of people who are able to maintain that is their life. And that's not your life. You do have creative things that you have to get done. And eventually that whole myth of having it all, it just doesn't exist. No one has the energy.
I don't even like the idea of having it all.
Or time.
You know what I mean? The idea of that thought process. You can't have it all. Mind your business. I can have what I want. You know what I mean? I have exactly what I want.
What you want, but some people do want it all, and it's it's not possible.
I mean, I currently don't have a successful career, but I did have a successful career and a successful marriage and a successful friend group. What the fuck else could I ask for?
Yeah. I'm just I'm asking for, let's put this out here because we've gotten pretty good about putting it out there in the universe. I'm going to ask for a check in the mail for $10,000.
Ditto.
I mean, I could use that for sure.
Okay, cool.
So we're looking at $30,000. If anybody wants to send that our way anonymously,
Red Rover,
also
send that shit right over.
No, I definitely have to cut that out. That's terrible.
Why?
Unless
look, we don't know.
We're not supposed to know where
My
it comes
Venmo
from.
is.
I know. It's the universe. But thanks for signing the check. I hope someone the universe.
Right.
You
can't cash this.
Thank you so much, but I'm gonna need you to actually sign your name.
Your real name.
Oh my gosh. Well, What else we got going on? I saw Miley Cyrus already moved in with Chick Face.
Right on. I don't know who she is.
She used to date somebody from the Hills.
I just think it's fast. Like, honestly, moving in with somebody like that quickly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's okay. It's rebound
that makes me nervous.
I don't know if it is. What I think is all of this shit was going down already because like she had that breakup song in the bag. She was fucking ready to go with it. She went on vacation immediately. She was on vacation when she announced her divorce and then she moved in with her like 2 weeks later. So I'm like, I think there was already something happening before.
Yeah, overlap.
Either before they split or they were split for a long time already and didn't announce it until right now.
Yeah.
Right. That's very likely. I mean, that could definitely be.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something. I was talking to Christina about this last weekend and like, whatever. It's not my relationship, not my business really. But like, there is something weird to me that makes me feel icky about releasing a song like, because it feels very targeted, marketed to release a song like that literally the same week you announce your divorce.
Right.
Because the amount of time it takes to write and record and remaster and release and like all of that stuff, it's very calculated to announce your divorce this like 2 days before you release a song. You know, and there's something about that makes me feel like,
well, I mean, like that for me is like almost all of like pop music nowadays because like you can't sell music in general, like all the stuff that they have to do in order to, I mean, the exception being if you're, you know, a performer like Lizzo who released Truth Hurts years ago and it's just now finally like seeing it be top of the charts and stuff like that through her fucking hard work, labor, and just word of mouth growing.
I still don't think you need to release it like 2 days after because like here's the thing. I think everything Taylor Swift does is calculated, but like she broke up with John Mayer, they broke up and then released Dear John like the next year and we all still knew exactly what she was talking about. It's like you didn't need to like have it written and in the bag and ready to go like before your relationship ended because then it makes me feel like either this was manufactured in a weird way and it was, you know, I don't know, like it makes me feel weird about it. But
oh my god, you remember when Taylor Swift was dating Tom Hiddleston?
Dude, she dated literally everybody.
The fuck,
everyone.
That was such a weird summer and she like made him wear a tank top that said like I heart TS.
I don't think she made him do that. I think he's weird and he did that.
That's what I think.
He's a grown ass man. He made a decision.
Like she's like, bitch, you don't go in public without this shirt on. Like
that shit was bananas.
I think Tom Hiddleston is much weirder than we think he is.
I know. He was like my number one for a while, and then that happened.
Oh, I like him still. I think he's funny.
And I was like, but what?
She's dated everybody.
I know.
To exist.
And good for her.
I mean, sure.
Hell yeah,
good for
dude.
you.
I get it. I'd date him.
Dude,
she's dated a Kennedy.
All I can think of when I see her, though, is that Napoleon Dynamite meme. That's the picture of them together. Side by side.
They do, for reals, look alike.
So much alike.
They look the same.
When are we going to admit that they're the same person? It's like...
I mean, have you ever seen them in the same room together?
I mean,
I don't think so.
There you go. Oh my God. When is that Area 51 thing happening? I keep forgetting to put it in my calendar. I really...
You're going to go?
No, I want to watch people go.
Oh,
and get in big trouble.
Watch. Yeah.
We were just talking about drama last week, and I was like, this is the drama
I'm watching
I live for.
From the other side of the fence with binoculars.
Yes.
Yes. I'm like, I don't want to be over here when you guys get like your asses handed to you by the government.
Legit. Yeah.
But I want to see it from over here.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I want to watch.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, and they literally, like, the government is not here to play. Like, they have literally said, like, if you show up, we will shoot you. They're like, do not show up.
What are you guys' favorite like conspiracy theories? Because Area 51 is probably one of my tops. Yeah. Do you guys have conspiracy theories that you're fans of, or you're like maybe
fans of? I don't know if I'm a fan.
I'm not big on conspiracy theories in general. Like, I'm not a big conspiracy theory person, but I this one might get spicy.
Oh,
probably not, because I think everyone's on the same page, right? I don't think this is a partisan issue, or it shouldn't be. But it's not like
you're like Loch Ness does exist. Everybody knows.
No, it's
you're
that,
like, we know we didn't land on the moon.
It's
And
that
like,
Epstein didn't kill himself. Is like the only conspiracy theory that like I
legitimately
believe.
Every single person. It's like
right,
right,
like,
left.
Has
It doesn't
to
matter.
believe that,
Everybody's
right?
like, cough.
Everybody,
yeah, right.
Because I don't even think it's really a conspiracy. Well, I mean, I guess it is.
It is because it's not what they're telling us
otherwise.
Right. I do have a tendency to believe in the idea of that wagging the dog, right? Like when there's like something, they're like, oh, look, he drew on the map funny things with a Sharpie. You're like, what are you fucking really hiding?
Yeah. What are you doing?
I do tend to think that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that too. But
I don't know if that's conspiracy theory as much as just kind of
in general, the government is shady. Yeah.
I think it'd be more conspiracy theory if you're like really like, but the lizard people are doing, that kind of thing.
That's weird.
Okay, if we're going to talk about conspiracy theories that I like the idea of,
do you like lizard people?
Is hilarious to me.
And
if it is true, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I don't believe it, but I do love the idea.
That's
that there's just like a race of lizard people that's in human suits that's controlling everything.
That's a good one. Pyramids being batteries. That one's good too.
I kind of like if I liked a conspiracy theory, I think I would. I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory. I guess is the idea of like multidimensionals or like multidimensional parallel universes, or like there was a thing. It was on. Somebody had shared it with me. It was on Joe Rogan, I think, and they were talking about this kid who like traveled back in time, like time travel thing. It was like a time...
I have something to talk to you about. I can't remember.
Later. It was like called something, and I'm like, that is fucking wild.
You know which one that I can kind of get on board with, even though I don't fully believe it, but if I had to pick a conspiracy theory, it would be that we're living in a simulation.
Oh,
that one, I'm like, you know what? I've done more reading on it, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is the reason why, like, I can't get a boyfriend, is because I fucking love conversations like this. Yeah. And I can't fucking find a guy that's like, hey, what's your favorite conspiracy theory? Or like,
but you can't find a guy that will talk to you about it on like an intellectual level, because I don't really believe like most of this shit, but I like talking about it.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah. It's entertaining to talk about it and to just like kind of expound upon it and have fun with it. Like the art of conversation.
Like Tom Hiddleston would do this with you.
I know. I feel like you would.
Now, if a guy
get an I Heart CC tank
top, yes.
If a guy really was like, I think the moon landing was faked, or like I think the Earth is flat, I'd be like, I'm leaving.
If you really thought that, but like, that would be a lot. I did go on a date with a guy that thought the pyramids were batteries. That one was wild.
Yeah, I'm willing to talk to you about it, but if I get this, because this is how it would go, right? You start the conversation and you're like, cool, we're having an intellectual conversation, and then at some point it takes a turn.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh no,
Ancient Aliens was not a documentary, sir.
Really believe this? Yeah, I would have to be like, I've got to go powder my nose. I'll be right back. And then you sneak out the back.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's that to me. I feel like there's something about texting and Tinder that has really blown up the art of conversation. What it is to have an engaging, meaningful, fun, flirty conversation with somebody is a skill that a lot of people are lacking now. Yeah. I have gone on a lot of dates and had a lot of phone calls with guys before meeting up, and I'm like, if I can't hold a conversation with you through text, over phone, in person, like, how do you make it through life? How do you work?
Well,
how do you engage with people?
I think the art of conversation is dying. I think it's absolutely dying. And even people like me, who I would consider myself to be like an extrovert, I have social anxiety now, which I don't think I had whenever I was younger. And I think it's because I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what to say to people, and it makes me like anxious. And I think that that's going to be something that we see more and more as people become less engaged face to face and more engaged through like media.
Yeah.
I just don't think that because you have so much time to think about what you're going to say if you're
Right.
texting or you're
Right.
composing a Facebook message.
Oh my God, Wally
It
was a
composing.
documentary.
Yes,
Yikes.
yes, it was. And Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Put those hands
God,
together.
I'd rather have Terry Crews as president, if I'm honest.
I mean,
He seems delightful.
I know.
I would love him as the president.
I would be here for that.
To be
Yeah,
frank.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Dude,
what?
That's what we should do for a fuck, marry, kill sometime.
We should do
is
TV
fake
presidents.
fake presidents. Yes.
You got a Morgan Freeman.
We had so many.
He's always good. Martin Dudeface from West Wing.
Martin Sheen.
Sheen.
Oh,
yeah.
great. You've got the
You
Allstate
have
guy
Harrison
from 24.
Ford. Harrison Ford.
Harrison. Yeah, he's
Yes,
been president.
Air Force One.
Yep.
Mhm.
Ooh.
There's some
So
good.
good.
All right, we'll
Some
save
good
that
ones.
for a future.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the one? We had that thing on our Facebook group that everybody was answering responses to.
Oh.
And I was like, that's a good
Birthday twins.
birthday twins. Who's your birthday twins?
Mr. Bean and Kate McKinnon.
Ooh, I like Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, yeah, and Norman Reedus from
Ooh, he
Walking Dead.
hot. That's a good one.
Those were like the only three. Literally, if you look up January 6th, there was a nobody.
Listen, there's like 3 good ones for me too, and then everybody else is like YouTube stars. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've got Mr. Rogers,
that's
my
a good
heart.
one.
That's a good
That's
one.
a good one.
Spike Lee,
Nice.
and Holly Hunter.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got a
I
good
love
trio.
Holly
Eddie,
Hunter.
you have Eddie Redmayne.
Oh, he's
Oh.
cute. I like him.
He's got a strange face.
It's strange, but
Oh
you know
my
what?
God.
It's the kind of strange I'm attracted to.
You have Arena Shake, who is
Bradley Cooper's
ex
ex-chick.
Sid Barrett.
Oh, I didn't know
Ooh,
that.
Sid Vicious, or no, Sid Barrett.
Yeah, very
Duh.
different.
Hi. I don't even know why you said that out loud. Sorry. Who else?
Yeah, that's it.
That's a pretty good one.
Mr. Bean,
I don't see
And
Mr.
Kate-
Bean on here.
Kate McKinnon. Rowan Atkinson.
Oh, I see him now.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
he's
got
literally
Mr. Bean.
the,
I
way
got
up top.
Mr. Rogers. Excellent. Very good.
Yeah, but you have
appropriate.
Eddie Redmayne and Norman Reedus, and those are the 2 I would pull from.
I
Yeah.
heard that Norman Reedus is a slime ball in person.
Really?
He was
Yeah.
nice.
I've heard he was super nice.
Yeah. he was
I
nice to
heard
me.
that he was shitty. There was an article written about him a few years ago, but yeah, because the way that he just like treats women who want to sleep with him. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the 2 I always used to pull were Mandy Moore and Steven Seagal, but now that I know that Charlie Hunnam,
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh
much
my-
better than Steven Seagal.
it's
Charlie
just funny.
Hunnam.
Oh, he
Daisy
hot.
Ridley too. I didn't know that.
Do we want to do our birthday twins?
I want to do my birthday twin,
Okay.
and I'm going to choose Charlie Hunnam.
You're gonna pick Charlie Hunnam.
All right. I'll pick Norman Reedus then.
I'm
Right on.
gonna go Spike Lee.
Okay,
Yeah,
Ooh. Ooh.
that's a random lean.
it's a super random collection of peeps.
Huh.
All right.
Interesting.
Spike Lee, Norman Reedus,
This is so random.
and who?
Charlie
Who are you
Hunnam.
going? Charlie Hunnam. Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
I mean-
oh my God.
I know what I'm gonna do.
We're all fucking Charlie Hunnam, right?
yeah.
Well, we
I
may
mean,
marry
come
him.
on.
No, I'm fucking him.
Oh,
Okay.
I think.
God,
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
am
doing.
too.
Yeah.
So many different ways. I'm going to try to make it if he's, I'm like, I only get one fuck with you. So we're going to take this
We're gonna-
nice and slow. I'm going to say, I'm like,
It's a
I'm getting
tantric
it-
session.
Yeah.
You're going for 24
Days.
full fucking hours. Yeah.
I'm like, how long? I'm like, hold it in, hold it together.
I know what I'm going to do.
Hmm.
Okay. Go for
I
it.
am going to fuck Charlie Hunnam.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to, because obviously I don't feel like I even need to
Right.
explain.
Yeah.
Um,
Enough said.
Enough said. Period.
Mhm.
I am going to marry Spike Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like we could do good together. Me and Spike Lee could make awesome movies together.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and then I'm gonna kill Norman Reedus just because there is something about him that I'm like. I there is something really appealing about him. Like when I watch Walking Dead, I'm like, yes, in a post-apocalyptic world, would fuck you.
Yeah, but normal
But
day
in
to day
normal
world.
day-to-day world, I feel like everybody else, when you watch The Walking Dead, they don't look like that outside
In
of The
real
Walking
life.
Dead.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like Norman Reedus looks like that.
He does. He's ready for the apocalypse
In
when he's
life.
eating pancakes
Yes,
at
and
a restaurant.
so there's something
And I
about
know
him that I'm like, I don't know if you shower. Your hair looks soup's greasy, and I just get the vibe that you smell like stale whiskey.
Not a problem for me.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Say
say
it.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
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 I think I know what I'm going to do.
Go for it.
You've described him so well that he's nothing but appealing now. But I'm going to fuck
could you turn
Norman
it away?
I know. I'm going to fuck Norman
I bet he's
Reedus
good at it, to be
because
honest.
I
Yeah.
got to be honest. He looks dirty.
I bet he's good at
down
it.
and
Yeah,
dirty.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to fucking smoke a cigarette and drink a bottle of whiskey after.
Probably
Yeah,
but it's gonna be
outside
so
by
fun.
a river.
He definitely has like a half drunk natty light on the nightstand.
Yeah.
There's some beer koozie
There's
that
actually
has some
ashes in it.
clever,
It's ashtray now.
witty saying on it. Yeah, yeah.
Mountain Dew's in the fridge
That's
if
a
you need
real.
one.
That's a real cool outfit. You get that with your
He's-
Marlboro Miles.
He, in his home is a really heavy ashtray.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
one made
a
of
thick one.
Yeah,
marble.
like a real one.
marble
Yeah, marble ashtray for sure.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
my
you're
gosh.
you're
He's got
ruining
like
it.
a Playboy
it's-
channel subscription.
unnecessarily.
but look,
Just so
but
unnecessary.
to that, I think he'd be good at it though. I do.
I think so too.
So,
I think
I'm
he could down
actually.
and dirty.
I
Yeah.
think so too.
So-
I'm here for it.
I'm gonna fuck Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
I am going to. I think I'm going to marry Charlie Hunnam.
Not
Yeah.
a bad decision.
I mean,
No, I'm here for it.
I support
soup's
it.
nice
Yeah.
in real
Yeah.
life.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
okay.
Very,
yeah,
very
I'm
nice.
here for it.
And as much as it hurts me, I am going to, I'm going to kill Spike Lee.
It's okay.
I hate doing that, and the only reason is because I feel like it's a lot of work.
It absolutely is.
It is.
There's-
Life's hard enough.
It's a lot of work. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right. Spike Lee would be work to be married to, and I actually thought about that whenever I chose him. I was like,
you like
that
work
is-
though.
You do.
It is gonna be a thing where like there are no days off.
You're
No.
be goddamn
When you're
Rihanna over
married
there. Work.
to Spike Lee.
So
He
much work.
does not chill out and watch Parks and Rec.
No.
No. In fact, the happiest I've ever seen him is this last Oscars when he actually won. I'm
Yeah.
like, I think it's the first time I've ever seen you smile. Like,
Also,
actually,
he was like, finally, you're welcome. I felt like he was
I
like,
have been contributing to this world
You're
for
welcome.
so long.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is actually a really hard one for me because
Yeah.
I'm work minded and inclined, but
Mhm.
as I've found this week, the more I dive into it, the less happy I am. And I think I should actually kill Spike Lee as well.
Yeah.
Although I gravitate towards people like that, it does not make me happy. Yeah. Also that.
I think we can say that. He is short. How tall is he? He's not that tall.
He's short. Yeah, I don't know, but he's very short. I think.
Yeah, and I think I have a tendency to lean towards a workaholic, melancholic kind of personality. I need somebody intelligent, but also like bubbly, enthusiastic, not so heady. I think I've got enough head for everybody. But
You'd, you would
think-
have great conversations though, and
Yeah.
this is why "Fuck, Marry, Friend" would be a really great case for this. Again, but you've ruined it.
I
said we
murdered
can't.
him.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
murdered friends.
Yeah, the challenge with Spike Lee would also be like he does seem like the type of personality since we were born on the same day, and I'm not big on astrology, but I do think like we would clash probably because we're probably like too much alike because I
Right.
think both of us could probably if we agreed on an issue or on everything, I think
Right.
that our relationship would be amazing. I think if we did not agree
Yeah,
on something,
It'd be
it
yikes.
would be like both parties digging their heels all the way in.
Right. Yeah.
that's kind of
Oh
be
my
the thing
God.
with me and Charlie. It's just going to be a race to see who comes first because we are so selfish. Like, oh, I won, and I'm done. Bye. Ding 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 ding.
And then I'm going to marry Charlie too.
Yeah, he good.
He's a good time boy.
yeah.
He just looks like fun. He's just so pretty. I would never be able to speak to him.
Beautiful. He's a beautiful man.
Yeah. Yeah, and just he's sweet too.
Yeah, he
so I'm
seems
just
so
like,
sweet.
oh my god.
Can you see each of us in these people? Like, am I a Charlie Hunnam or a Mandy Moore?
Well, I've never met Charlie Hunnam in real life, so I don't know what he's like.
I have. He's actually
Sweeter than me?
Shy.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a little shy. At least like, or just reserved. He was reserved, but just like so nice.
What's he
To,
like? Like 4
everybody.
White Claws in? Because that's
I
how
don't
we'll,
know.
That's how we'll
If I ever
side by side.
If I ever meet Charlie Hunnam 4 White Claws in, it's fucking over for him. Actually, I'm sure he can handle 4 White Claws. But
He's a big
like,
man.
I'm still
Yeah.
the same person.
Yeah.
He's like, it's 5% alcohol by volume.
yeah. Norman, I'm gonna fuck. He is.
Yep.
I'm taller than him.
Oh, are you? He's short too.
He seems like one of those who's like in person kind of slight. Like,
Yeah,
he
he's
seems-
slight.
Yeah.
yeah. He's. I'm a larger person than he is, but I feel like we would both fight for control, and that would be kind of fun. That could be kind of
Yeah.
hot.
I could see
A lot
that.
of flipping on the
A
bed.
lot of flipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
I
see
need
that.
a new
It's
bed
funny
frame.
the ways in which. Wow.
Thank you for reminding me. I just like used it the other night, and I
your
was
bed?
just like, yeah, I was like,
To sleep on them.
Yeah, I'm.
right?
Don't
Oh,
you
yeah.
use it every
Yeah.
night, Christina? What
well,
do you mean?
I
Elaborate.
really used it, and I have been really using it for a year and a half, and I got it as like a like new bed, new life kind of thing.
Are
And
you
it's
hearing
a
this
cheaper.
purple mattress?
Yeah.
Are you hearing us?
Exactly. I need a new bed. I need like a grown up bed, specifically a frame, because the screws, like everything, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Christina,
Have
I'm
you
gonna
ever
need you to
broken a
cut.
bed?
I'm gonna need you to cut out this part of the conversation so we can send it to a purple mattress.
Are you? Have you ever broken a bed? Raise your hand if you've broken a bed.
Oh
I
yeah,
have not. Well,
I want
unless
to high five Christina.
a bed
unless-
and a futon.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes.
Unless you count the 2 years when I first moved to LA and I was sleeping
And
on
you broke
an
an air mattress.
inflatable mattress. If that counts, then yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was what you were sleeping on, and you could no longer sleep on it.
Oh my god.
Oh no, we did. That's how poor we were.
The frame was like.
I was like, we've got nail glue and duct tape. Can we fix this?
Nail glue. Oh my
I think that is how you fix a new mattress.
yeah. There we go. Well, we got some great tips here. By the way, this is my worst date. I'm Christina.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Cassie.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Yes.
All right.
And we're back.
Yeah. And I get to go first because I
Yes.
got the crazy in love.
Wow. I feel like I should be personally offended by that accent.
Yes. So this one I got from Reddit. I titled it Run Away. So
Exclamation point?
exclamation point. Yes. Okay. One time I went on an OkCupid date and everything was normal until the end.
Oh no.
She was a cute blonde girl that liked some of the things I liked. We seemed to make each other laugh via OkCupid chat, so I asked her if she wanted to meet. She said sure. We met up at a popular bar that has enough room to have private conversations. I was kind of nervous and didn't want to drink because I was on medication, but she called me out, so I ordered what she ordered, a pear cider. We go upstairs and nervously talk. At first it was awkward, but we both seemed to loosen up quickly. She has a darker sense of humor than I expected, bringing up topics like burned bodies discovered on the side of the road and making
Murderino.
jokes.
She's a murderino.
I'm like,
love
who's
it.
this chick?
We know her,
Also,
right? We know
yeah,
her.
I-
Also,
we
I want to
probably
know
know her.
what case this is for the burned bodies on the side of the road. And also, like, you got to be careful of first date bringing
Yeah.
that up.
Listen,
you know,
yes.
it's usually third date where I'm like, so what do you think about Ed Kemper?
right?
Precisely.
Exactly.
I mean, real talk though, like, are your guys' minds as warped as mine that anytime you see a bag of any kind on
yeah.
the side of the road, you're
You're
like, body.
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 Yeah.
oh, I'm like bomb.
100.
I sometimes
That's weird.
I'll be driving and I'll look on the side of the road because I'm like, I wonder someone put a body there.
Yeah, I'm like,
wonder-
why is
Yeah, I
there
have
an
thought that before.
enormous trash bag on the
Yeah.
side of the road?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
probably a body.
Yep. So he says, I'm into it and play along too. Everything seems completely fine and normal. And I start maybe to even like her. And she touches me playfully. And it just seems completely normal and easy. Then
Oh no.
Suddenly, without anything weird being said or anything happening, no phone call, no emotion or reaction, she gets up and just walks away rapidly.
Wait.
Did you really have to take
Did
a
you
shit?
pee your pants?
Yeah.
I was so confused by the suddenness. I thought maybe I had missed something she said and followed her through the crowded bar as she increased her speed. She never looked back at me or anything. She just kept going for the door.
Oh, no.
I thought maybe she was having a panic attack or something
scared.
like that. So when we got outside, she was completely fine. She kept walking away at top speed when I finally said, "Hey, wait a moment." She turned around with this look on her face like she didn't know who I was and said, "Yes?" I was like, oh, that was so sudden. I mean, I just wanted to say goodbye. Maybe we could shake hands or something. I didn't really know what to say, and I tried to make a joke thinking about the least intimate greeting. She said, "Why?" as she stuck out her hand, put it in mine awkwardly. Then she turned around and hightailed it out of there.
Ooh.
I took a minute, looked at her walk away, and I tried retracing my steps of what we said and did, trying to think of why she reacted like that. I really felt like I must be the shittiest person ever. What I didn't notice while thinking was there was this huge crowd of people smoking outside the bar. I mean, it was like 50 people just all around me, and we've been standing right in the center of them. I didn't notice at first, but after she left, they all started cracking jokes, like tons and tons of jokes, and it was like suddenly I could hear them. So I kind of looked around me, realizing what was happening, until I realized the jokes were about me.
Oh my God. What is happening? I'm so confused.
And aren't you like so like not only did that shitty fucking thing happen, now it's my social anxiety was like
Yes.
Turned all the way up.
all the way up
to
100.
11.
Yeah.
To 11 because now literally 50 people just watched this interaction happen and are like,
Oh.
so finally one tall dude smoking a clove shouted loudly, "Ah, shit, Romeo, you fucked that shit up. Look how fast that bitch is walking." And everyone just erupted in laughter.
Okay, but he's smoking a clove.
Yes.
So who's laughing now?
So who's laughing now? Look, I have not smoked a clove since I was 18.
Okay.
So come on.
I think that's as old as you can be.
Yes.
When you smoke.
You start
know.
at 18 and you finish at 18.
And that's it.
smoking
That's
a clove. Look, they are delicious. They smell like Christmas, but
They smell like Christmas.
He says, "That's not the worst date I've been on, but it was the one that I think of a lot in the shower when I feel depressed."
I'm sorry. We don't get a conclusion.
I need to know what the fuck
He
happened.
never. No, there was a message. He said, "Never saw her again. Never spoke to her again. Never figured out why." So that's like literally got to be like replaying in his head, like the last thing that he said when she just like got up, walked the fuck away. She was done.
That is the type of thing that you jolt awake at night and it's just like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend."
Exactly.
Like immediately.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
that is.
I would think about that when I was 87.
Yes.
Honestly.
That is never
87.
ever going
Shook
to
away.
You're like-
leave you.
You're literally doing that thing like the Titanic old woman. You're like,
Yes. That is in your DNA now.
It is.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
is.
that's
It's
part of who
passed
you
on.
are. Yeah.
It's passed on through
Your
generations.
children.
yes.
Your children are waking up.
That is inherited trauma.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need a conclusion. I need to get a hold of this person.
am
Yeah.
deeply unsatisfied.
yeah.
Because I mean, it's like she forgot who he was. Like,
That's kind of what I was like. Does she have some kind of medical condition?
That's-
where like
that's where I'm at. well, and that's what I would tell myself.
And then
Me
not only
too.
that, you're like doing it for a fucking audience, which is like awkward enough to
And
be
those
on a
people
first date.
were fucking trash about it. Okay, I've got a question. Sorry, before we go on to the next story. Have you guys ever had something like that should have been like a private moment, like in public? Like I had a thing with my ex-boyfriend, like the day before we were already broken up and he was like getting ready to move back. And we had like a blow up fight, like outside of Laurel Tavern.
So you've never been back to Laurel Tavern since.
And it was so uncomfortable because he was like instigating this argument. I'm trying to like leave, and like to the point where like people were walking by and they were looking, and he did that thing where he turned to them and he's like, "What? Like, what are you looking at? Like, what do you want?" And I'm like,
crawl out of your skin.
it is the worst feeling.
Yeah.
Like it is.
And everybody's looking at you like, are you safe?
Yeah.
Do we need to walk you to your car?
Right. No, I had one of those. It was in front of, I don't know what's worse, when something like that happens in front of strangers or happens in front of friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, all of it's bad. It's bad in a different way.
Yeah. Because I've had that kind of thing happen in front of friends, which is not fun.
Friends is probably worse.
Yeah.
Friends is probably
With
worse.
strangers, you can be like, okay, I'll never see them again.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed if I ever see red tank top girl, but other than that, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yikes.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
All right. So I titled this story "Insulted." I got this one off of Reddit for a while, and I've been holding on to it.
Insulted.
Insulted.
Okay.
I'm insulted. After writing this, I realized how dumb my decisions were. Here we go.
Okay.
Earlier this year, I went on a date with a guy that friended me on Facebook. I suggested going to a bar for drinks, but he insisted on meeting at his house.
First of all, red flag if somebody friends you on Facebook and they do not know you. Like that shit is so weird and creepy.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I'm
like-
weirded out if I get friend requests from people I know on Facebook now. I'm like, what are you doing
What's
here?
your end game?
We don't need to be friends.
What do you want to know about my
What do you
life?
want?
We're
yeah,
good.
why are you
We're
here?
Sneaking up in this bitch. If we didn't friend in 2007, I don't
There's no
understand.
reason.
I'm
No
I'm
reason
at
now.
capacity now. Come on.
I'm at capacity. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm all full up.
I'm all friended up.
I'm all full up. She's like, yeah, I know. But I went along with it against what should have been my better judgment. His house was over an hour from me, and he didn't want to meet until 8 p.m. I had to work the next day. When I get there,
So you're driving to me? Yes.
apparently not.
No.
Oh my God.
Absolutely fucking not. If you're
Me
setting
at
the
his
time
house.
at 8 p.m. and
already
you live
asleep.
over an hour away and I got to be up tomorrow, then you are driving to me. You're putting in the legwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to see me? Great.
Come
you do
see
it.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hop in your car.
Come see me, bro.
Come see about me. When I get there, I knock on his door. He texts me and says, "Why did you knock? Come around the back." Obviously, I should have gotten creep vibes
Yeah.
and turned around right then. I went around to the back of the house.
You know what I've learned
where
from-
he had a bonfire going.
Uh-oh.
You know what I have
that's where
learned
he's going to
from
burn your
doing
body.
This podcast is that most of us should be dead. Like most of us should have gotten murdered
How
so
are
long
you writing
ago.
this story?
Yeah,
down?
like
how are you writing this?
It's your ghost.
It was him. I met him on Facebook. This is a cry for help.
I know.
As soon as I see him, he hugs me and goes, "Wow, you look way better than your picture." Flattering, I guess. He looked way different. We each grab a beer and he starts asking me all the get to know you questions. After every answer, he insults me. Example,
negging.
I tell him I'm a teacher. He says, "What a waste of time. Teachers aren't even smart. I know more than every teacher I've ever had." First of all,
Wow.
sir.
First of all, no,
Wow.
you don't.
First of
Like,
all.
there's a 0%
Wow.
chance of that. First of all. Secondly, this story has everything. It has all of the red flags.
Yep.
Truly, because it's like you met him on Facebook. He made you not only drive over an hour, but to his house. To his house,
Yeah.
like where he could have had a murder basement.
Where he's got a bonfire.
Where he's got a bonfire going.
Yeah, and then he's negging you constantly. Oh my God.
Second of all, fucking teachers are saints.
They are
They are
amazing.
saints. They're people that spend their own money to fucking teach and better the next generation.
Humanity.
They make
they
literally
deal
no
with
money.
your shitty kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
They deal with your piece of shit kids day in and
For
day out.
less than what we would pay a babysitter.
Yeah.
So
It's so true.
there's that.
Okay, so next example asks if I'm religious. I say somewhat. He goes, "Well, I hope you're not Catholic. They're the worst." This continues with every answer I give. He also asked about my family and asked if daddy makes a lot of money. What the get the fuck?
Oh, I'm furious.
I know. He also asked about my previous relationships. 5 years long and asked about what had happened. I told him it was a very personal, and he kept badgering me until I told him it was a domestic violence situation.
Oh
He
my
goes,
God.
"What? You can't defend yourself?" This one put me over the edge.
All right, I'm about to push him into the bonfire.
Yeah.
Like, right about now.
At this point, I've been there for about an hour and was absolutely flabbergasted. I go to leave and he proceeds to kiss me. Yep.
I just threw up in his mouth
Yep.
because
A big old wet one.
Bite his tongue off, honestly.
Ugh. I was obviously shocked. I start to grab my keys and he goes, "You can't drive. You've been drinking," and threatens to call the cops because I'm a school teacher. I blocked his number and Facebook on the drive home. He made several fake accounts within the following days and messaged me asking why I'm ignoring him when he, quote, felt a connection and, quote, really liked me. Yikes.
He's an actual psychopath.
That-
Yeah.
Wow.
is the worst. Also, like, here's the thing. There have been several people that I've given the, like, it was really nice to meet you. Didn't work out. Like,
Yeah. The spiel.
the spiel too, who have persisted.
You're like,
Literally
stop.
persisted. And I mean, sometimes for weeks. And I'm like,
no means no.
no means
And
no.
also, what does it say
What do you
about you
think?
that you want to be with somebody who clearly does not want to be with you?
Yeah, what
like,
the
it wouldn't do anything for
And in
my
what world has that
self-esteem.
worked?
It wouldn't be a good thing for my self-esteem if I was constantly being shot down by the same person. Like, what is that? What kind of like masochistic
Yeah.
like mentality do you have where you would want to do that to yourself?
Right.
So then I'm like ignoring these messages or whatever, and they're still like going on and on and on and on. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like what is going on?
It's scary, honestly.
She also edits to add that she said, "I can't believe I forgot this part. He also asked several times if I wanted kids and when I wanted to get married. I casually mentioned how I might be moving soon, and he offered to let me rent out his spare room at a, quote, great price. You can't make this shit up."
Oh
I
my
am not
God.
trying to live in your murder house.
No, thank
Oh my
you.
God.
You're absolutely going to cut me into pieces and then put my body in the bonfire.
No, thank you.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
You know what? We've heard a lot of bad dates on this podcast, and I can't say that that's the worst date, but that date filled me with such
Rage.
like, rage. Like
Negging,
unexpected
negging's
rage.
not a thing.
Yeah.
Negging's not a thing. You don't like pull pigtails on a girl and be like, oh, he
No,
likes
listen,
you.
Mystery
Like, no.
lied to you.
Yeah.
The pickup artist fucking lied to you. Like, honestly, I feel like he needs a strongly written letter. Mystery. Mystery does.
Strongly worded
Do
letter.
you guys remember that show?
Not
the
at
Pickup
all.
Artist? Neither one of you?
Uh-uh.
No.
Oh my God. We will watch an ad for it after this. It was like huge in my formative years. And I knew a lot of guys who actually subscribed to these beliefs. That's where negging comes from. There was a TV show called The Pickup Artist with a guy named Mystery who would teach nerds how to get girls. Like that was it. And like he would be like, you have
Woof.
to tell them something shitty about themselves. You know, like it was part of it. Like
So kind of like, what's the movie with Will Smith?
Hitch.
Hitch, right? Because he kind of was like, don't come on too strong. Don't act like you're super interested. It wasn't like
Well,
super
and
nagging.
here's
but
the thing, like
I
giving
wonder if that's where it came
advice
from.
is fine, but like this was so gross, and it is only a thing that could have taken place in the early 2000s. Like there was a
Yeah.
small window of time when we were like, this is fine. That like absolutely would not exist.
You're right. It was like the year like 2000 to like 2005, really. There was like
we
this
talked about
5-year
Next
period
on this
yeah.
show. Like
Jesus.
all of these shows that existed, like that would not exist before or since. Like
Yeah.
that could only have made it in this like 8-year period
Right.
in the early 2000s. And like that is one of them. So my fellow millennials who were
Yeah.
exposed to the pickup artists and the men that they created,
Ugh.
hit me up because that's what that is.
Ugh.
Gross. Okay. So this is from our website, and the subject line is, well, I have always disliked Chipotle,
Oh,
which
no.
first of all, other than White Claw, I don't think we consume anything more than Chipotle.
I think
Yep.
between
yeah.
the three of us.
Yeah. Yep.
Honestly, we order it like every single week.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. Okay.
Yeah.
This is several years old, but I'll never forget it. I met this guy off Tinder. He didn't have a car. I did. He lived near a fairly busy area full of restaurants, but insisted on meeting at the local, to him, Chipotle. So again, she's driving to him.
Okay.
We as women need to band together.
And this is the pussy embargo. Honestly, this is the
Absolutely.
pussy embargo. Don't fucking go out of your way to meet at a fucking Chipotle.
Absolutely. If I'm driving or at somebody's house.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? If I'm driving to you, you better be taking me out somewhere.
Right.
Just like if you were going out of your way to come to me, I would take you somewhere that I really liked.
Absolutely.
You know what I
feel
mean?
special.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ugh.
I didn't want to come off as picky, so I agreed, even though the spices in the Chipotle meat always gives me an upset stomach, and it was 45 minutes away. There's literally a Chipotle 5 minutes from you at all times.
At all times.
There's no
matter
reason
where you are.
to do that.
Yeah.
I found a parking spot nearby and walked to the restaurant. On the way, realizing that the area is pretty deserted for what seems like a great location, I walk in and see a security guard located near the door and
Of the
see my date
Chipotle?
at the Chipotle.
Yo.
Okay. Have you ever been in an area of town where like you go into like a 7-Eleven and you're like,
sure.
oh, these Slim Jims have like security tags on them.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're like, I know I'm in a bad area of town.
You're like, you go near the door. It's,
It's
like,
like
beep, beep, beep,
the
beep.
shit they put on T-shirts is like on the Slim Jim. You're like, I'm in a bad place.
No.
I need to get out of here immediately.
Wow.
We'll get to why there's a security guard later.
Okay, good.
Oh, great.
It is relevant to this story to note that I'm a white woman, my date is second-generation Indian man, and the guard is a black man. My date and I greet each other, and I go through the food line. He happily talked about how much he loves Chipotle. I just smiled and nodded. We sit down to eat, and immediately he starts talking about his family and how great a large Indian family is and how he really wants to start one of his own soon with a God-fearing wife.
Oof.
In my Tinder profile, I clearly state that I am not looking to be anyone's mother, nor am I interested in monogamy, and am an atheist. Like,
Dude, read the bios.
and she says written in bullet point format.
Wow.
She made it clear. His profile said something along the lines of looking for a good time or some other
No, you're
such
not.
Tinder cliche. At this point, the date is over in my mind.
Yeah.
I tell him
Yeah.
that I don't really feel the need to start a family. In fact, I never want kids. And if he read my profile, he would know my religious affiliation. He responds with, "Oh, I thought you were kidding."
What? Because you were?
I drove 45 minutes for this shit. And again, what do we say about putting shit in your profile? Like, not only should he have read her profile,
Yeah.
if this is something you're going to bring up in the first 10 minutes, like as long as it takes you to move through a Chipotle line on a first date, then you should have put that in your profile. that like you want a big family and a God-fearing wife.
It's obvious. Oh my God. Yeah.
He says, "Oh, I thought you were kidding." He then proceeds to tell me how great motherhood is and how awesome being a Christian is. I told him that he's more than welcome to be both mother and Christian, but it is not a draw for me. We literally spend the next 20 minutes talking about religion and monogamy. I won't go into the details too much because honestly, I don't care how people identify or what they believe in as long as they're good people.
Right.
But this dude was getting on my nerves.
But
I just
don't you do you?
yeah,
Don't try to
and let
fucking
me do me.
Exactly.
And if you and I put what I believed in on my fucking profile.
Ugh.
And I just felt compelled to tell him why I didn't agree with his worldview. Anyways, I get up to leave, obviously over the date, but end up talking with the very handsome security guard for a good couple of minutes.
Okay.
She says in parentheses, "My date was a bust, but maybe I could make out with the guard. Options are out there."
Yeah,
I
there
like
you
it.
go.
I like it.
She drove 45 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
get your
Get yours.
get yours.
Life gives you lemons. Make out with the security guard.
I was very curious as to why he was there. He tells me that the area is a gang hangout, which is why he does this as a second job, with his first being a police officer in a pretty big city. Me, panties dry as the desert for the whole conversation with my date, starts feeling a little tingly down below. Kind eyes, large hands, muscles, deep soothing voice, a man in uniform and wears it well. Yummy. My date walks up and interrupts the conversation.
You're like, "Sir, get out of here.
yeah.
Scram. I'm very busy."
The date walks up and interrupts the conversation to ask the officer if there's more violence in the big city or this area we're in because of all the black people. I was speechless, much like we are currently.
Oh my God.
Speechless. I apologized to the officer for the rudeness of my date, told my date he was an uneducated asshole, and left the restaurant. My date followed me out, telling me he was going to walk me to my car.
No.
I responded with, I'm a big girl. I'll be all right. Pointedly looking down at him from the 3 to 4 inches I had on him.
Ooh.
I'm 5'4". He was short. To be clear, I'm not against dating short people, just assholes.
Amen.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. Awkward.
He tried to go in for a hug, and I awkwardly patted him on the head.
Yes.
Pulled away and walked in the opposite direction of my car towards a very busy area. I didn't care if it was a gang I was walking towards. I just wanted to get away from this dude.
Bad.
Luckily, he didn't follow. I didn't get jumped, and I got home safe. I deleted his number immediately. Pretty sure he got the idea that there would be no second date. We literally spent the whole time arguing, and I called him an asshole for being racist. Like, there's no coming back from that.
No.
The next day, I got a text saying, I really had a great time last night.
Sir.
When do you want to go out again?
Never.
I just deleted it and blocked his number.
Wow.
Why? I feel like there's such a common theme with these stories. Like, why so often do these go so badly and then have someone come back and say, I had a great time?
No.
Like, that happens so much.
So much.
It does. It is so
They're
weird.
like, did
It's
you?
weird.
Sir.
Yeah. Did we go on the same date?
Right.
Were you
Was I
there?
there?
I
It was
called you a
parallel
racist.
universe.
Oh,
You,
whoa.
right?
That wasn't
The
me.
Mandela effect.
Sorry.
You're a
conspiracy theory.
What?
Berenstain.
Oh my God. That's my favorite conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's
Oh,
good.
The
yeah.
Berenstain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I grew up with those books and the TV show. I
Yeah.
thought it was Berenstain my whole life.
It's
My whole
Berenstain.
life.
Oh, it's good to know that we were all from the same universe.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. Our
Yeah.
hearts are tied.
Did Curious George have a tail or no tail?
Oh, shit. I don't think I read that much Curious George.
Curious
I'm remembering
George.
back. Don't
The
look
man
at
in the
me.
yellow
Don't
hat.
influence me.
I'm
Curious George did not have a tail.
I want to say no tail.
No tail. You're
Oh,
right.
oh,
And
but
that is
we
correct.
are all from the same
Yeah,
universe.
that is correct.
Woo,
I'm like,
fantastic.
people actually remember him having a tail. I'm like, no, he never had a
No,
tail.
my instinct is to say no tail.
No tail.
Get out of
okay.
here, aliens. Those are the lizard people.
Those are the lizard people.
That's how we find them.
That's how we find them.
I mean, I think you need to ask that question first thing on every new date you go on, Christina. So you know.
Yeah.
If they're like, he has a tail, you just get up and leave.
No.
Are you guys ready for my crazy in love?
Super ready.
All right.
So it's so funny. We were talking about teachers earlier in the podcast because I am going to teach you guys a history lesson.
Oh my God, you scared me. Okay.
Yeah. My crazy in love this week is the love story of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn.
Oh dear.
Oh, that is crazy in love.
Buckle in. I just heard flutes. I
Yeah.
just heard like some like lutes playing. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go be to Tudor England.
Yeah, get in your Wayback Machine.
Get in the way back because we go into the 1500s. Now, I got most of this information from a Timeline documentary, which is like BBC kind of thing with a chick with curly hair and crazy eyes, if I'm honest. I was like, I can't imagine she would be a fun person to date. She
Well,
kind of looks like she does crazy shit. She's
anyone-
getting way too excited about
That's exactly
Anne Boleyn.
right. Anyone who's too interested in like Tudor area England, you're like era,
Way
like,
interested.
No,
I don't want to go to the Ren Fair with you.
No.
Yeah.
I'm a little scared. I don't want to
Except I would.
split a turkey
100.
leg with you. I'm
I would,
nervous.
because I'm not a nerd.
Yeah. I'm like 60% that nerd.
Yeah.
So
I'll
I just took
I'll
a
go to
DNA
a-
test. I'm
60%
60% that.
I'll go to a
nerd.
Ren Fair with you guys.
Yeah.
Just not
Not with
crazy
this chick.
Can we
lady.
make our own costumes? Because technically, the only reason I like Ren Fair is because I also like Halloween, and I just like dressing up.
You can make my
Yeah.
costumes for me, sure.
I like.
Okay, so this was like in the 1500s. Obviously, Tudor England, life sucks. It's a bunch of church stuff, and it's hard, and then you die, and that is
The end.
You
1500s.
consume so much meat.
So much meat, and it's like the life expectancy was probably like, I don't know, 40 if
Right.
you're lucky, if you're rich. And like if
25
you were
for
a
everybody
woman,
else. Yeah.
you were dying in childbirth almost certainly.
Immediately.
Immediately. And you're only good for that. So
Yeah, at like 16.
it pretty much
You're on your
suits.
third kid at like 16.
But the things that are in common with now, because there are a lot of commonalities, a lot of things haven't changed in 500 years. If you got money, it was better. It was
Of course.
better. So
Universal truth. For
universal
always.
truth for always. So there are a lot of myths that I didn't realize about this whole story, because of course we know Henry VIII and his 6 wives and all that stuff. So it was kind of cool to like deep dive into it, because we didn't get a lot of like British history when we went to school. So I knew about his 6 wives, knew the basic gist of it.
You know
but
what I got
PBS.
about this was my mom always singing that song. I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry
Yeah.
VIII, I am.
Yep. Where did that come from?
I think it's a Monkeys song or something like that. It's from the TV show, I think.
Brilliant.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm married to the widow next door. She's been married
Married
7 times before. And anyway.
So Anne Boleyn was actually not lowly. A lot of people think she's like kind of an upstart, but she was actually the niece of like a duke of someplace that was like fancy in
Suchingham.
England. Yeah, exactly. And so her father ended up in like the French court. He was the ambassador. So they were like not like nobility, but they were nobility adjacent.
Got it.
And she had an older sister, Mary, and a younger sister, George. And she was educated
Wait.
in the Netherlands.
A younger sister, George?
A younger brother. Sorry.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, thank you. You're like, that's a cool name.
That's
no, I didn't.
very
have the name.
forward for that time.
It's very Nancy Drew.
But they were educated in the Netherlands and France. So that was like kind of uncommon at the time. But so she got to speak, many different languages. She was very like sophisticated and very different when she came back to England. She came back to England when she was 21 and got to be in Henry VIII's court as a lady in waiting for the queen, who was Catherine of Aragon at the time. So let's talk a little bit about Henry VIII. At the time, he was VV good looking. He was super tall for that time. He was 6'2",
Wow.
which like the average height, I think they said on this documentary for like men that at that time was like 5'7" or 5'8". So he was tall, broad shoulders. He was a ginger. He was like V good at sports. And like people would like write poems about how good looking he was. He was ridiculously good looking. Not only that,
Really ridiculously good looking.
every single person described him as kind, affable, and a gentle companion.
Interesting. That changes.
Yeah, for reals.
You know what? I also side.
But I get into why it
Because
changes.
They think that he gets syphilis, right?
Well, like
Sorry,
it does
ruiners.
change, but I mean, even if it didn't, like, also you have to say nice things about your king, or like,
right.
he will
That's
kill
true.
you. Like,
these are foreign ambassadors or whatever who are describing him, and also like he wasn't even supposed to be king. He's the second brother.
Right.
His brother Arthur was brought up to be the king and was actually married to Catherine of Aragon, and then his brother died.
And then by law,
we'll
he
just
has
shift
to.
you
Yep.
on over.
I just shift you on over, and then he married Catherine of Aragon. So they actually, a lot of people, and by all records, they were married for 20 years. They had a happy marriage. But the problem was Catherine didn't produce male
Children,
heirs.
yeah.
She only had one kid. She had Mary.
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, yeah. But she had miscarriages and that sort of thing. But they were still like, they were respectful of each other. They had a happy marriage. I mean, King was like banging people left and right, but like it was normal.
Soup's common.
Soup's common.
Yeah.
Soup's normal.
Part of the gig.
Well, the issue is like in any kind of court, of course, there's lots of courtiers. There's lots of power right now in the church. Because again, it's the 1500s. They don't have Hulu. They don't have Twitter. They have nothing to do. Like they were showing me on this documentary, like people used to carry around like prayer books and stuff. Like this is what people did. They like put on masks and did these really weird like waltzy dances, and then they read prayer books. So that's what the fuck there was to do.
I want to take our friend group. I want to plop our friend group in the middle of the forest for a good 2 years and see what weird shit goes down. You know what I mean?
know.
Like if we just disconnected, if we had only each other
ourselves
and then disconnected from everything, we would come
put
up
on
with some
such good plays.
We would put on such good plays. We would come up with some really freaky, weird, creepy rituals.
Yep.
We would do.
Can we bring a guitar?
Shit.
But yeah,
only a lute.
It's like this is like one of the stories like someone would tell like Henry VIII, one of his favorite pastimes was he would dress up in costumes and try to surprise Catherine of Aragon. She'd be like,
that's hilarious, actually.
I didn't know that was you or whatever. And like totally like indulges that he'd be like, I'm dressed as Robin Hood.
Oh man. It's like old timey role play. I love it. It's hilarious.
So anyways, like everything's going well, but people are starting to like whisper in his ear, and he's starting to get nervous because he's getting older, and literally you have one job. You're supposed to like
produce an heir.
Both of them have
older
this
and
pressure
uglier.
on there. Yeah.
Because man, did he not age well.
But this is still like, you know, early-ish on, because like it's around 1526 or whatever that he starts to notice Anne Boleyn. And this is after he's already kicked her sister out of bed.
Right. That's an interesting fucking story. Yeah. Is like how that went down. How fucking mad would you be at your sister? Like so mad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess at the end I wouldn't be so much.
I mean, true.
Anne watched how the king had treated her sister and how transient it was. And they think that was a big part of what got her to act the way that she acted, which was when Henry turned his sights onto her and started pursuing her, she was like, nope.
No, I'm good.
But like everyone at court said like she was pursued by everyone, and they were like, it wasn't like she was pretty. She's not described as pretty. They said she's interesting.
I think Mary was prettier.
Interesting. Yeah, right? Mary was like the pretty one. Her
sister was the prettier sister.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like there was everybody who had written said there's just like something about her. She was exciting. She had a lot of charisma, pretty much. So, and she was really good at the courtly game, is what they used to say. She was very good at the courtly game.
And she'd come from France too, so she had this kind of like coy mentality and like that they didn't have there, right?
Yeah. So it's like 1526. He starts writing her love letters and sending her gifts. The very first gift that he gives her, you guys, I'm going to describe this gift because if someone gave this to me, this is kind of like a negging thing. Okay.
Ooh.
So he gets her this like
a washing machine.
It's
a
like
vacuum.
It's like this gold Swiss Army hygiene thing.
Bitch.
It's like got a toothpick on it and like some other like things, like a thing for your perfume and stuff. And I was just like,
he's like, you stink.
A thing for your cocaine.
And it's a whistle. It's a weird hygiene Swiss Army whistle.
Is there a picture of this somewhere? Is this saved in some kind of museum?
Right. And
I need to
send
see
it to me.
What it looks like.
It's a Swiss Army hygiene whistle. It's like got a toothpick and a whistle. Basically, like they were saying, like the crazy lady who was like Soup's way too into Henry and Anne was like, it basically means like if you whistle, I'll come to you. I was like, does it? Or is he like, you got something in your teeth?
You smell, bitch.
You smell, bitch. But I kind of still want to fuck you. But they have his love letters, like a bunch of them, saved at the Vatican. So he's like writing. This is a king in the 1500s, and you're looking at these notes. He's like drawing hearts at the bottom and shit. And I was like,
that
oh
is
my
the
God,
most
did he fold it
12-year-old
into
girl.
a mash thing?
Yeah.
He
like
folded
crazy.
it into a teeny tiny triangle.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he like
footballed it to her.
But you know, like the thing is, like, I once did that. I once folded a note into a triangle and gave it to a boy that also had a spray of perfume on it. I'm not proud of it.
But because you
Not
were
proud
like
of it
a
at all.
12-year-old girl.
Yeah,
at
I
the
was.
time.
I was
Yeah.
like,
He is a grown-ass man
Right, but I
who
think
runs a
King of
country.
England.
I think what's
Yeah.
interesting about this is like so often when you look at like history and you look at like monarchs, the like monarchy or like the kings were the most infantile of like
Right,
yeah.
anybody because they'd been handled with like little
gloves.
teeny kid gloves for their
Yeah.
entire lives. Like, ugh.
Well, yeah, it's like you look at. I was just reading about the conservative ship or whatever with Britney Spears,
Oh, yeah.
and it's kind of the same thing because she's never had to
adult.
make any kind of decision for herself,
Sure.
and this is kind of like the same thing.
Right,
So
you
I'm
have
like
people making decisions for you all the time.
all the time.
So you can just
You
like
cannot
Anne plus
function.
Henry all day.
Exactly. In hearts.
Yeah.
He did. He put her initials in a heart and like
Oh
all
my
this stuff. I
God.
was like, dude, it's the 1500s. Like, go pray or something. It's
Go
weird.
get your
If I
prayer
was
book.
13, I would have loved that. If I like the age I am now, if a guy did
Ugh.
that to me, I'd be like, oh,
I don't like
I
that.
stopped talking to a guy because he started sending me, you know, those like cartoon things that
No.
you can make.
and I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I don't like
I was
that.
like,
Those.
we're done. It literally dried me up immediately.
You know, the
Not
only
sooner.
person who like shares that shit is like your like 57-year-old aunt on Facebook.
Yep.
Will like send you one
And
of
I'm
those.
not gonna fuck that.
No.
No.
Never, ever.
What are those
ever
things
gonna
called?
fuck that.
Bitmojis.
Oh no!
They're the
Stop it!
Fuck.
Anybody
They were
who's doing
fun
it,
for
stop it!
3
Stop it! Stop it
months.
now!
They were fun for 3 months in 2016.
The end.
We've moved on.
We've
moved
pronounced them
way on.
dead. So yeah, we're done with that. Send
Oh my
them-
god, we're gonna get so many
send
Bitmojis on our or our Facebook group.
Honestly, we should have because we all had them. Like we should
I
have
know,
a Bitmoji thread so everyone can see what our
Everyone
Bitmojis
can-
look
Tragic.
like.
and be like, and we're done with it, and,
And
they're
I'm like,
all buried here,
yeah.
and that's the last time
Yes,
we see
before we
them.
leave
We're never
it.
going to talk about it. This is where I leave you.
But yeah, some of the stuff in his letters included talking extensively about her duckies, which is I learned what they called boobies.
Oh my god,
In
I
the
was
day.
really hoping it was gonna be ducks.
I really thought it was pet
was
ducks.
praying
I
it
was
was
like,
gonna
did
be
she
ducks.
raise pet ducks?
No,
Please?
that would be great, but no.
Oh
No,
my God.
That's what they call boobs.
How
He's like,
violently would you react if a man
Can I
called
touch your
your
duckies?
boobs duckies?
I just want to rest my head upon your plump duckies. Like
I
the
know.
fury
No.
in my chest right now.
I don't like it.
It's not my favorite.
no,
Don't like that.
No. So meanwhile, like she keeps putting him off. At one point, she even gets sweating sickness, so she has to like go away. This is like this whole thing. Literally, there's a Wikipedia page you can go to for sweating sickness,
Tell me what
which
that is.
it is the 1500s, and exactly
They call it menopause now.
what's that?
I feel like I had that earlier today. It was so fucking hot.
This
So true.
podcast will kill you. Absolutely has to do an episode on sweating sickness
Shout out,
for
yeah.
sure.
Oh,
Shout out to
man.
them. I would love to.
Somebody
listen to
reach
it.
out to them on Twitter, tag us in it,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
tell them that they need
do
to do
sweating sickness
Sweating
because I'm
sickness.
obsessed with it now from this Anne Boleyn story. It's like people died, but like I mean, you died of everything in the 1500s.
that. Yeah, I'm
you
not
could
gonna
die
feel
from
that.
a
I'm not
hangnail.
gonna feel that bad
So-
about it. It was a long time ago.
But anyways, like meanwhile, time is going on. Okay, it's 1526, 1527, 1528, and he's like,
when is she gonna
he's
let
like,
me smash?
when, and she is like not doing it, and he still doesn't have an heir. Now, what makes him crazy is that he does have a male son from one of his
Oh.
Mr. And this is what I didn't know because I was
Yeah.
like, it's your fucking fault. You shoot girls. That's your fault. But he does have a boy son confirmed. His name's Henry Fitzroy. So that's why Henry's
Oh,
like,
that's right.
oh, it ain't me, it's you. And so he starts reaching out to his courtiers, like, what can I do?
Well,
I'm
and
going
Catherine of Aragon is
crazy.
like considerably older than him too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's
'Cause
older.
yeah.
She's like Dunskies. She's in
Yeah.
her 40s, so
She had the sweating
can't.
disease, but it was menopause.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Well, she made it on the other side. That's what you call it if you make it on the other side. You're
Yeah.
like,
So he's like, you know, everyone's into God, so they're scouring the Bible, and they find a passage in Leviticus that's like, yeah, don't lay with your brother's wife because if you do, you're going to be childless. And so he gets people to say, well, what that actually means is you'll have no male children. And so like they use that to petition for an annulment because everybody was Catholic at the time.
Yeah.
The church was like, there was the king, but then there was the church.
Yeah.
And the church was above the king.
Yeah.
And the church was the end all be all. And they had all the money and you absolutely could not get divorced. So Henry's like, but I want to.
Right, because this man has not been denied anything in his whole fucking life.
Nothing. And he's like,
this whole story is just a lesson in like
Catherine
toxic
Aragon is really
masculinity.
the one that got out the best, right? Like she's like,
There's one other wife.
there's one wife.
Yeah.
And I'll get to
Seymour?
it at the
Jane
end.
Seymour?
Jane Seymour.
No,
Or
no, as Anna Cleves.
The other
Anna
Anne.
Cleves.
The
Anna
other Anne.
Cleves.
Yeah, she's like
"Woo, bye, bitch." She's the one you want to be. And we'll go through
I
that.
want to be none of them, but
yeah.
Yeah,
Hashtag
yeah.
tag yourself.
Exactly. I'm an Anne of Cleves. Oh, actually, probably. I don't know who I'd be. Think about this, and then after the
Okay.
story, we'll have to think about which queen we'd be. But so finally, like, he goes through all this stuff, and you can listen to podcast upon podcast of all the machinations behind the scenes of like Cardinal Wolsey and like all these bit players just trying to get power for themselves. This really is like Game of Thrones, but
Yeah.
real life.
but real life, yeah.
Anyways, Catherine's cousin was Charles V, who was the King of Spain, who happened to have the Pope under his thumb. So Pope was like,
Nah.
no,
Not doing that to my sister.
no,
Not today.
No, not going to do that. So then there's hearsay that Anne Boleyn gave the king these like pamphlets because the church was corrupt. I mean, everything was corrupt at the time. They had a lot of money and everything like that. So there was a lot of Reformation talk out there. And so she's like, really, like all these pamphlets were saying like the king is actually more powerful than the church. Like you shouldn't have to bow to like anybody. You shouldn't have to ask. You're the most powerful one. He's like, you're right. I am the most
I
powerful
just love that
one.
it's like corruption wars, though, because
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, the church is corrupt, but like so
So's
is
the
the monarchy.
government.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
like none of it is like
Power is
good.
corrupt.
Yeah,
So
like-
there you go. Like, who are you going to choose? So anyway, he chooses himself. He's
Like
like,
you do.
yeah,
Surprising.
like you do. And he's like, okay, so we're fucking Dunskies, and I run the Church of England now. I say what I'm supposed
And they
to do.
changed to Protestant and not Catholic, right?
Yeah, they're done. He runs the Church of England. The Pope like excommunicates everybody. It's like this whole fucking thing. I mean, changes history.
Isn't
Yeah.
it, I was gonna say,
legitimately.
isn't it amazing
just
how
because he
many-
wants to smash this
Exactly.
chick.
I was gonna say, isn't it amazing
Yeah.
how many people fucking died just because
People
he wanted
you
to like
wanted.
stick
Sex.
his dick somewhere else?
Yes.
Like it's insane.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
truly.
he wanted a boy children, but like literally, she was like, "You want to learn how to play hard to get." Like Anne Boleyn was the queen of it,
Literally.
And literally.
But like, yeah, because
Then
like
got to be
I
queen.
mean, yeah, it extended to like Bloody Mary. That's why she's called. It was like a war between like Catholics and Protestants.
Yeah. So, anyways, like she gets to 1529. She's back in like the court, and now it's like openly where like they're like openly mocking Catherine at court, like
Poor
him
fucking
and
Catherine.
Anne.
She didn't
Wow.
do shit.
He like hires actors to put on this play that's literally like it's called the play of the weather, where it just like mocks her the whole time. And so she's like sitting here, and I'm like, you motherfucker.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Truly.
Here's
Truly.
me pretending to be real dumb and not know. Like, this isn't about me.
This isn't about me. This is me up in my room refusing to come down to see that play, like, and being so weird. But
Got a bit of a tummy ache.
they finally 1532, so this is like years after like their crush first starts, they finally smash and get like secret married because the king
But
of
do you
king of
think-
France says like, oh, I'm cool with this.
Do you think they really didn't smash that whole time?
I think
they did.
I think they didn't because it was really important once he set the train in motion. If she had gotten pregnant,
But he'd fucked other people. It's
Yeah,
not like he
he's-
didn't do
But
that.
if she'd gotten pregnant
but
before,
if she had gotten pregnant, and he wanted
It
a
would have been
legitimate
illegitimate,
male
yeah.
heir,
Right, but
and
that
so
doesn't mean that they didn't have sex before that. It
No.
just means that they probably took precautions because he definitely had sex with Mary, her sister.
yeah,
her
but I
sister,
think he's
yeah.
smashing other girls in the court,
but they
not
didn't.
her.
There's a lot of people that are pretty convinced that they didn't smash.
Yeah.
But yeah, because then they finally did like get secret married. Then like for real married a couple months after that, she was pregnant with their first child. And when they coronated, is that a word? Coronation?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
We know
like
what
a
you
few
mean.
months
Crowned,
after
yeah.
that, they actually gave her a male crown because everyone was convinced like you're having a boy.
Male heir.
Everyone. So she's the only queen that has ever been like coronated.
She should have
with
been
that.
fucking scared. I don't know
Can
if
you
she was
imagine
scared,
the
but
pressure?
the pressure.
And if I didn't, I would go find a village boy.
But
Mine's
then, yours,
mine's
and then we
now.
wouldn't have Queen Elizabeth I.
That's true.
Exactly, and that was a
And
big
she was
one.
probably better than
the
any
best.
male heir,
Yeah.
like that
Exactly.
she ever could have had. You know,
that worked out the way it was supposed
Soup's
to.
good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, in September 1533, she does have a girl, Elizabeth, and everybody's soups disappointed.
And Henry is just wrecking his office. He's just throwing things on the
He's like,
floor,
Flipping shit.
flipping tables over.
a lot of people say he's disappointed. He's really kind of upset, but he's still on board. He's like, okay,
It's one.
it's won.
One baby.
We won.
No big
We
deal.
got
Yeah,
this.
We'll get back on this horse.
We get
Chop,
back
chop.
on this horse. Yeah. But the other thing too is like how you got him is how you lose him.
Mm-hmm.
And Anne, who was good at the courtly game and who had gotten her man that way, started to lose his attention because Jane Seymour was one of her ladies in waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And Anne, when she was, the not mistress, was very like fun and flirty.
Mm-hmm.
And Anne, as the wife, was very jealous, volatile, and very much like, so where were you? That kind of thing. It was
Well,
kind of
because
like
she knows.
Well,
Because she knows.
yeah, you
And
can't play a player.
stressed.
She knows exactly, like
all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah. And meanwhile, like her personality was such that she was just making enemies wherever she went. England fucking hated her. She had a picnic one day, like at a site, and she had to run for her life because hundreds of women like mobbed her. People hated her.
But because
Women
people liked
especially.
Catherine. That's
Exactly.
why it's just
People
like,
liked
yeah,
Catherine.
you don't fuck.
So what
you know.
happened to Catherine? Catherine went off and had into the summer cottage and,
And
was like,
died.
yeah.
And died. Yeah.
Yeah, but
soon,
Not
she
the
soon
worst
afterwards.
thing. Yeah, she died at
Yeah.
like what 50, and it's like, oh, you
Yeah.
lived a good long life.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
fine.
Not that she was
15.
murdered.
Do you really want to be older than 50 in the 1500s?
Hell no,
No.
you're
I
gonna
don't even
get
want to be
taken
5
by like
in the 1500s.
something ridiculous. You're gonna get dysentery.
Yeah.
No,
So yeah, we're done skis. But yeah, it's super sad. Like out of all of them, like I feel the worst for Catherine because she's like she put her time in, but she got the best Henry actually because Henry
Yeah, that's what I'm
Henry
saying.
is like degenerates
He's not
after this.
disgusting. She got to be queen double time.
and people loved her.
People loved her.
Yeah.
She went off and died
I
in
mean,
a cottage.
yeah, it's like so your husband
That's
like
cool.
was a piece of shit and betrayed you, but like honestly, for 1500s royal court,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
you had a good run.
I mean,
I feel like
yeah.
She got like a summer cottage or some shit. It's not like she was like paying bills and whatnot.
yeah,
Yeah.
she got to
She got-
kick it. She was crocheting.
Yeah.
she's drinking red wine. She's fine.
good.
Yeah. So she does actually get pregnant again. So this is shortly afterwards, like in January of 1536, she's pregnant.
Anne?
And
Okay.
yeah, so they're celebrating. Shortly after they find out she's pregnant, Henry is like jousting and he's starting to get a little older now, starting to get like a little bit heavier. He fell from his horse and he was knocked unconscious for 2 hours. He had a
Ooh.
serious head trauma, big time.
Yikes.
And like a couple of days after that, she miscarries and they're able to
Oh.
tell that it's a boy. And more than that, there are rumors that the boy was like malformed. So this is all rumors.
yeah.
So in that time, in the 1500s, if there was anything weird about you, if you had a weird mark on your face, you were kissed by the devil. Anything
Yeah.
weird like that, and especially like with babies, is like, well, that definitely
You're
meant that
cursed.
Anne like fucked the devil then,
Oh, Jesus.
or was a witch, because like not they don't know anything about like genetics or like anything weird like that.
And
it just
their
means
soups misogynistic.
Yeah,
like highly.
highly.
Definitely couldn't have been the father's sperm.
Yeah,
that
I
did
mean,
that.
it's like
No.
takes two people to
Right.
like.
So there's definitely like
Maybe it was the. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
that's what turns him
Satan?
finally. Satan? Could it be Satan?
I was gonna say maybe it was the inbred bloodline.
Yeah,
Years and
for
years of
tutors, yeah,
inbreeding
definitely.
for, like the royal family. Probably what caused the birth defect.
So yeah, this is that seals her fate. And there's a fucking brilliant quote about it, and I wish I had written it down because a lot of courtiers called her like lots of different things, but it was just like basically it sealed her fate, miscarrying that baby. And so, and she even knew it too. Like she would have been able to fight those rumors
like,
if she had just had a boy. She would have maybe been safe. But even that's up for debate because Henry's behavior becomes more and more erratic the older he gets. So who knows? And she was an erratic person too. So he may have found a way to get rid of her anyways because she was so strong-willed. And basically they're there for like a tournament for May Day. And they're sitting there and they're like having a good time. And somebody comes and whispers in his ear and he stands up and he goes off and he leaves and Anne never sees him again. Shortly
what a
after
cowardly
that.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
No
seriously.
shit.
Like,
Never
everything about
sees him
this,
again.
everything about King Henry VIII just makes me think like you're a man-child in charge of a country.
Totally.
Like that's what's happening right now. You're a huge fucking baby. Like who wants what you want, like when you want it.
Right.
Like, this is the problem with monarchies. Honestly.
Shortly after that, she's arrested. She's arrested for adultery, incest, and treason. And there's no way for her to like petition. Like she writes to the king, nothing, but she never gets to see him to plead her case. Of course, it goes to trial. And a lot of people are like, it was such a sham. You know what I mean? Because who's going to be like, the king obviously wanted her to get put to death. So who's going to be like, no, you're not guilty, because they still have all the trial transcripts. It's most definitely, they have the whole trial transcripts.
That would be a fascinating
It's
read.
all like fake AF. All the men that were accused of sleeping with her put to death.
Whoa.
And then finally Anne herself, a queen, gets fucking beheaded. And her speech right before she gets beheaded is so freaking cool. And it makes me want to watch. When I was looking up stuff about it, I guess there's all like Claire Foy plays her on something. She plays Anne Boleyn.
Wow.
So does Natalie Dormer, who played Marjorie
from the
from
Tudors.
Yeah. So I'm like, I have got to watch
Have
this.
you seen the other Boleyn girl?
I haven't. I've heard
With
it.
Scarlett Johansson is
and
Mary and Natalie
Natalie
Portman is
I
Anne.
know.
That was good.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. And I read the book too, and the book's pretty good if you like historical fiction.
Yeah,
it
I
was
do
good.
too. So yeah, it's definitely I think she gets the worst of it. Cause she was only queen for 1,000 days.
Well, I mean,
That's
at least she got that super sharp sword. Though.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
everyone.
that was
like,
the one
Henry
nice thing
still
that
loved
Henry
her
did.
because he gave her the best executioner and a soup's sharp sword, so that she didn't have to suffer when they cut her head off. I'm like, oh yeah, he's such a nice guy. Nice guy, TM.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, but I'm a nice guy. You guys-
But yeah, so Henry VIII's like really quick recap. He goes off then to marry Jane Seymour 5 days later. So he waits a whole 5 days.
Not even a week.
Not even a
Quick
week.
warning sign.
Yeah. And he's able to get his male heir, Edward, from her, and she dies shortly afterwards. Childbirthy stuff. So
that would have been me.
So
I would have
she's-
been Jane Seymour.
Yeah,
actually.
she's out of the pick. And that's when Anna Cleves comes in, who is the best, because this is like old school Tinder, okay? Like Thomas Cromwell's like, we totally need a Tudor dynasty. I've got the bitch for you. Look at this fucking painting of this chick. And Henry's like,
I love this.
Henry-
This is the best.
Henry is like, she
Swipe
looks
right.
soup's hot. Yes, I'm swiping right.
And at this point, also, Henry looks like a bag of potatoes.
Oh,
he
God.
does.
A
He
full
does.
bag of-
He has
So not hot anymore.
Suppurating wounds on his legs.
Festering
Wounds, gout. He is
Disgusting.
disgusting. You know, I can smell him from here. You
Absolutely.
can smell
Totally
him.
smells.
He smells like a zombie from The Walking
He
Dead.
definitely
Just
sounds
rotting
like
flesh.
gingivitis.
Oh, totally.
100. Yeah.
So she shows up, and she a thick girl, and
I
he's
love
like,
I don't
"You don't
like
look
that.
like your picture."
You don't look like your picture. No.
Yeah, I love this story because
so he
yeah,
basically is just
the
like
portrait is like so much better looking.
he's like so like I can't, like, she's too ugly for me to get it up for, so like
Send
you'll
this
have
one
to
back.
annul
Send this one
annul
back.
this marriage. And she's like, but I'm still getting paid because I showed up. And he's like, yeah, sure. And so she gets fucking paid. She gets this nice fucking divorce settlement. And he's
Nice.
like,
Deuces.
You could have had a bad bitch.
Honestly, she's the fucking best. Because
She is.
I bet you she like manufactured that entire thing, or she or the people around her like manufactured that whole thing. Like she doesn't want to be married to him.
No, bitch got paid. And then he had two Catherines after that. I think Catherine Parr was next, who also got beheaded. And her story is not funny, is soup sad.
Yeah.
It's like the worst of stuff that can happen to females in the 1500s. It's terrible. Her whole life was terrible. And then she got beheaded. So sad. No one wants to be Catherine Parr.
No.
I think hers is actually the saddest one because at least Anne Boleyn got to go to France. So, yeah.
Anne Boleyn had some fun before like
A bit.
everything went down. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Catherine Howard dealt with Henry at the very, very end. And like, she got to like spend a bunch of money on like music and arts and everything like that. And Henry was like pretty much bedridden by that time. And then he fucking died. And then she ended up marrying this like piece of shit after him.
Ooh.
So it was like not a happy ending.
I
for
don't
her.
like that because otherwise I think I would tag myself as Catherine Howard. I'm like, that's fine.
Right.
Like, I'm like, that's okay. You get to spend a bunch of money on the arts.
Yeah.
Like, you're married to this guy, gross, but like he's just hanging out. It's not like a big deal.
Yeah. You're probably not fucking him at that point.
Yeah. Right?
I want to be Anna Cleves.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care if you think I'm ugly. I'm getting paid.
I want to be Anna Cleves, but I don't think I am Anna Cleves. You know what I'm saying?
I want to
like,
be like
I want to. I would like for that to be my story, but I don't think it is.
And that is the crazy in love story of Henry and
That
Anne
was
Boleyn.
great.
I just thought it would be like a fun history
It was
thing.
super fun. You took me on a ride.
I know.
Not to throw you off, but it was Catherine Howard, then Catherine Parr was the last one.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
Sorry,
I got it backwards. Thank you for checking.
I was
didn't
only
write
checking
down.
because I was like, in my head, I thought that was backwards,
Howard
but I was
then
like,
Parr.
yeah. So it's Catherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn, James
So
Seymour
which-
Cleves,
Which
Catherine
one
Howard,
was
then
which
Adam.
then?
No, it was the fifth Catherine that had the shit life.
Yeah, Catherine
Oh,
Howard.
Okay,
Catherine
Catherine Howard. All
Yeah.
right.
You do not want to be her.
No,
Got it.
Nobody
Got
wants
it.
to be her.
Also, too many Catherines, can we just say?
And
Too many Marys?
yeah,
Can we, like, guys, I've said this before on this podcast. There are certain
two
names.
Annes and three Catherines.
There are certain names that need to be retired.
Yeah,
Okay? Like, look, we got to stop.
yeah.
There's enough. There's enough. And, you know, I love your husband, but, like, there's enough Chris's. There's
Yeah.
enough. We've had enough of them. Okay? Like, stop
Move along.
naming your kids Matthew. We have enough
I like
Matts.
that name.
We have enough Matts,
I know.
Christina.
We can't add more to our group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike,
Yeah.
No more
tons of
Michaels.
those.
we can literally not have any more. Michaels.
We've hit the limit.
We got a Michael
okay?
limit.
Yeah, the world does, and we
Yeah.
hit it. Like,
Yeah.
Well, if
Oh.
you got like stories that you want us to do or suggestions or just want to reach out.
wait, are we going to talk about what we're watching?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like I need to talk about this, especially with what Cassie was talking about earlier as something that you're interested in.
Yeah.
I started watching Dark on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched the first few episodes. It's really difficult for me to get used to the dubbing.
You
The
have.
overdub.
It's not dubbed. It's not dubbed.
Dark?
It's subtitled. It's not dubbed.
I watched the dub.
Oh, watch it with
Oh.
subtitles. It's better.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I didn't
I
know
was
there
like-
was a dubbed version.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't like
dubbing.
this.
I'm
Yeah.
watching it with subtitles, and it does mean that, which is probably a good thing for me, you can't do the thing that I do when I watch movies, which is like
Multitask.
be on my phone because you actually have to pay attention because you have to read
I've heard it's so
what's
good.
happening. It is so good. And when I first started watching it, I was like, okay, this
It's
is
a
going to
series?
be, it's a series. And I was like, it looks like something I'd be interested in, but you know, I'm like, I don't have time to read.
Yeah,
Essentially, I'm like, I don't want to have to read. So I hadn't watched it. And I thought it was going to be like a German procedural about like missing kids or something. It is like, there's a sci-fi element to this show that I was not expecting.
The very beginning of the first episode, I was hooked to the story. I got to go back and
Watch
rewatch it with the subtitles.
It's worth
It's
it.
so
It's worth
interesting.
it. And it is like, I'm almost done with the first season now. And like, it's got a time travel, like portal parallel universe, like element
Is
to
it
it.
too scary?
I'm already a little scared. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think it's that scary. It honestly, it's not like, if you can watch other crime shows, if you can watch Mindhunter, you can watch this.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think.
There you
I
go.
think.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I will say, because you said watch Gretel and Hansel. I
watched
watched
you
3 seconds of
You
it,
should
and I was
not
like,
have,
nope.
because
nope,
it made me
nope.
scared.
She pulled that rope out of her. I said, no.
It wasn't even rope. It was hair.
Yeah,
she pulled
nope,
hair out of her mouth.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't like it.
I put it in the group chat because I'm not scared by a lot of things, I don't feel like. But
Wow.
this came up on like, I was getting ready to watch a YouTube thing, and like this came up as an ad. And I, you can hit like skip ad after like, 15 seconds or whatever. And I just watched the whole thing. It freaked me out like deeply.
Oh, no.
There's like a new, but I'm totally gonna watch the movie. There's like a new movie coming out called Gretel and Hansel, and it's got the girl from It in it.
Oof.
And it is so creepy.
It looks
is
so
no.
frightening.
It looks-
I watched literally like 3 seconds of that trailer. No.
It looks
no,
legitimately
no, no.
terrifying. It
You
does.
were like, I like fairy tales.
No.
this will be fun.
I had a
Oh,
feeling.
no.
I even said, I was like, I have a feeling this might be scary, just knowing who it came from. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, I
oh.
put in the group chat, I was like, I think I'm scared. That's
Oh.
what I wrote in there. I was
Oops.
like, I think I'm a little scared. Because yeah, that one looks terrifying.
I just started Bardstown. It's a brand new podcast
Me too.
about like the friggin' unsolved crimes in this little town in Kentucky.
I know
So,
somebody who lives there too. So I was like extra
yeah.
interested.
I've only listened to the first episode. I'm interested so far. See,
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
There's only like 3 episodes so far.
Yeah.
I've listened to them and I am in the same boat. I'm intrigued. I'm curious.
I'm not like, I'm curious. And I've also been listening to a shit ton of Savage Lovecast.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just am like,
Feeling it lately?
his voice, first
Yeah.
of all, is like butter on your ears.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Please just whatever he's talking about, whether it be like butt sex or thread up, I'm here for it. Like talk to me about anything. But yeah, super good. So yeah. What about you, Cass? Anything?
I started Bardstown too.
Cool.
So yeah, nothing really new. I actually, it's funny because I feel like I've had such a week of just busy doing a lot of things. And one of the things was I went to this, so I'm on unemployment. And so I got randomly selected to go into this fucking meeting, which I'm like, fuck my life.
I'm not
They're
at
like-
a job. I don't want to go to
Yeah.
fucking meetings.
They're like, it may be up to 4 hours. I'm like, shoot me immediately.
holy
So
shit.
it thankfully did not last 4 hours. My one-on-one meeting with the guy, he was like, yeah, you're probably not going to find your job through cow jobs. I'm like, oh, you're thinking I'm not going to find? Duh. Yeah. You really? Yeah. No, I get it. And because it's like, do you want to be a phlebotomist? We have a training program for that. I'm like, this is just like, and he's like, but I have to go back again next week because I need to either sit in a resume building class, which my resume is bomb.com because of our friend Mackenzie.
Yeah.
So I don't need that. There was something else, and then it was like networking. And I was like, bitch, I could teach a networking class.
First of all, I hate being told what to do. So
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're going to force me to do this,
Yeah.
it makes me
He
like,
was like,
pissed off
networking?
immediately.
He's like, networking is the shortest one. I was like, I could teach that class. I'll be here.
Yeah,
Nice.
fine.
So I have to go back for
I could
2
do this
hours
shit in my sleep.
of networking. I was like, I looked at him, I was like, I gotta ask a serious question. I was like, I feel like this is more of a hindrance than a help because honestly, those 2 hours I could be spent like job hunting and actually looking for a real job instead of something I do not need.
Yeah.
But here we
Honestly,
are.
like I'm mad for you
Oh,
because
I'm-
I'm just like, I'm like, first of all, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
You're not my real dad.
Yeah.
Go away.
Thank you. You're not my real dad.
You're not my real dad.
I really wish I'd have said that to him.
Uh,
And they had a sign on the wall that was like, aren't Mondays great kind of thing? And I was like,
Absolutely not.
go fuck yourself.
Absolutely
I
not.
took a
They're
picture
not
of
great.
it, by the way. I'll share it with you.
They
Oh
had
my
that
God,
poster with the
please
cat
do.
where it's
It's-
like, hang in there.
It's like all black.
you're like, I'm
It's
going to burn this place down.
I know. I was like,
It's
I
like
hate
Office
everything
Space
here.
where he's like,
It
"Oh,
literally-
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground."
Morning are God's way of saying one more time, go make a difference, touch a
You
heart,
can't put God.
encourage a may,
That's a
mind.
fucking government building.
inspire a soul, and enjoy the day.
Mornings are God's way of saying one more time. I'm gonna throw up.
I was
No,
like, I took a picture
I don't
of
like
it
that.
just to share it with you
Oh
guys.
my God, I'm gonna throw up. That's disgusting.
Well,
Your positivity
somebody's
disgusts
really
me.
into mornings
Oh
there.
my God. I really want to see the fucking thing at your job that makes you irrationally angry. So send it to us.
Do you have
You
a
know
Karen?
what? At my old job, it wouldn't have been a thing. It would have been a person. Yeah. Where she would come in every fucking day. Every day. Happy Monday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Wednesday. I'm like, I want to put a pillow over
I
your
want to
face.
pour this hot coffee down your face.
No. Yeah,
There's a big
Ugh.
big painting in my office that I'm just like, oh, that's the thing that I like look at every day. I'm like, I hate that thing. That's just it. And it's just irrational. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. It's like irrational.
You're like, I
anger.
haven't
I'm
had
like,
enough coffee for this
hate
shit
this
yet.
thing. But if you have any other stories to share or you just want to reach out, we want to encourage you to go to myworstdatepodcast.com. Specifically, go and check out our Patreon. We are actually changing it as of this week. We have brand new things on the horizon. We are ordering merch.
So exciting.
So t-shirts are on the way.
And we have a very special new T-shirt coming, which I'm super excited about. I can't wait to share it across like social media and everything.
There are a lot of really cool things around the corner. And for those of you guys who have joined us, thank you. Thank you so much. Your support and the stuff that we're going to be able to do next year because of you telling your friends and sharing it and having fun with us on Facebook. We'll maybe get to see you next year, and that is really, really exciting. So keep doing what you're doing. We love interacting with you guys and we love the stories that you share. And we just love you guys so much. Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media Podcast.